Yo, what's going on, Chris? Welcome to the platform. Give me a moment. I'm trying to spread the link
Sounds good.
around.
What's up, everybody? Twitter Space is in the house. Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and get started for the people that are on time. There's going to be a bunch of more people funneling into the room as we do this talk. It's actually being recorded
Cool.
for YouTube. So we started this whole basically platform last month with a buddy of mine called Mauricio. I couldn't join this month, but it's basically about doing a monthly space. I think me and you discussed about making this weekly. But basically, creating a environment for like-minded people to get together that are pursuing, living their best life possible in 2023. A lot of us set big goals, New Year's resolutions. It's hard to stay accountable, so we're going to be, collaborating with like-minded people. And you have a really cool story. You've been on my YouTube channel many times, and I've never fully, done a talk about your story. I mean, you're an interesting guy. You played professional basketball internationally. You have an amazing college basketball story too, and we never really went into that. And it all connects to one of our favorite conversations, which is health is
Yep.
wealth, right? Like we talk about health is wealth all the time, and your story is an amazing testimony to how important health is. So you want to go into your
Yeah,
your
man. Let's
background?
do it. Well, what's up, everybody? Shout out for you guys popping on here. This is cool. I'm excited for this I guess segment sequence, whatever's to come in the future of how we set this up. And really, it's all about pouring back to you guys and like Zach said, having big goals and how you guys want to accomplish things in life. Obviously, you guys know how much he shares about the crypto space, DeFi, and for those that follow my page on Instagram and here, you guys know what I share with health and truth and just coming out better. So it is a joy. It's an honor to be in this, literally this space with y'all. And yeah, man, my life was, it was a very interesting life. And just to start off, so many blessings that I had growing up. And sometimes we forget those good things that happened in our past. And we have a tendency to just focus on the negative, which was where a lot of my mental anxieties came from, my doubts, my comparisons, lack of belief in myself. So if you're going through any of those right now, if you're on here listening, I just want to say you're not alone. There are others out there, and you're also capable of turning your life around with a choice, with a word, with a thought, and an, even a simple action as well. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited to do this with Zach and others to pour back into y'all because y'all deserve it. So growing up, grew up in Orange County. I was an athlete most of my life, and I say athlete like I played every sport. I had the blessing of my father being a coach for just about my whole life in basketball. Played high school ball, was had options to go to different D1 schools, and I eventually ended up at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and then played Division 1 college basketball there. And at the time, this is again, if I had known a quarter of the stuff that Zach shares, that some of you share on your pages about health and wellness, man, I look back and I wonder like, what if life could have been that different? What could have actually been happening?
That's what we were talking about, man.
Oh
Like
my
we had all this
gosh.
information.
It's like I thought like just, orange juice out of a carton and a basic, McDonald's hamburger was fuel for a Division 1 athlete. Just like it's just crazy how little we knew at the time, and yet how still well, I performed and so many performed. Yet here we are now, so many years later. And after I played basketball in college, I was always hurt. That was another thing. My funny because my nickname was Ice Pack growing up. I was always hurt. I don't know why. I just thought it was just the short end of the stick. I was sick all the time. I thought it was normal. Little did I know it maybe had to do with my breath, my hydration, my mental health. Was I even grounded in my life? Was I even, being mindful in what I was doing? And these are things, again, at 17, 18 years old, you don't think about. So after I played college ball, great experience. Body went through a lot. I tore my ACL, tons of ankle sprains. I had partially torn labrum. I mean, you could have a slight crack in my wrist, dislocations, concussions, like a freaking stunt test dummy. And after I graduated, I then went and did a corporate America job, and I still stayed in shape, was doing fitness and whatnot, and that wasn't for me. So I know a lot of you on here are entrepreneurs and networkers, and whatever it's crypto or business owners, network marketing. Keep going. I want to say that first. Like, keep going with what y'all are doing, what you guys are creating, what you guys are putting together, because what you do today is what humanity is going to be doing and using in the future. Whether it's the project Zach's putting together, the courses some of you guys share, the parents you're becoming, it's all part of this grand plan that we're a part of. So after I played, or excuse me, after I did a corporate job, I went to Mexico, and this is where things got a little crazy. I went to Mexico and played professional basketball there down in Monterrey. I traveled Mexico, playing in different regions of the country and whatnot. Quite an experience. And again, I was bottled water, sports drinks, some street tacos, beans and rice. It was different, very new to my digestion and whatnot, and all the other things. And I started feeling just weird. I don't know. I just started taking medications. I felt like I was at the freaking pharmacy every other week getting a different thing. I was taking ibuprofen, Zantac, Allegra, just really dependent on allopathic medicine. And then the last month there, I got really sick. Ulcerative colitis, acid reflux, eczema, hay fever, allergies, some of the most indescribable muscle soreness that you would just think this is normal when it wasn't. Anxiety, sleeping was hard, so I would just depend on cannabis to go to bed and for pain management. And then I came home. I was pretty busted up. And it was 25 years looking back of accumulation of toxins, dehydration, inflammation, acid in the body, just mineral deficiencies, a freaking stressed out nervous system, which is such a big piece in health. I know we can talk about like breath and cannabinoids, just so many different aspects. The nervous system, though, my nervous system was pretty shot. So much fight or flight, a lot of anxiety and control, and just caffeine, energy drinks, Red Bulls, pre-workouts. I basically just didn't give my body a chance to actually rest. And if you're listening to this and you consider rest as something that's weak, or you're behind, or if I slow down, what if this happens? um, I would recommend you actually experiencing actual rest, not sleep, like actual decompression of your nervous system, of your subconscious, of your body, of your lymph system, of your energy centers, because our bodies are constantly, all of you guys on here listening are constantly looking to improve yourself and heal and regenerate. We just don't give it a chance. We just don't give it a chance. And I didn't give my body a chance to heal after 25 years. So yeah, sports, amazing. Taught me the best lessons of life: teamwork, leadership, communication, structure, discipline. Um, and it also came with pains, inflammation, injuries, mental, beating up your own self, the ego, limiting beliefs, like doubt. And there's confidence, right? And there's confidence and excitement and the thrill of winning and competing. And I just look back after 25 years, and shoot, if you had an injury chart, I'd have the whole body filled up. And that's what Zach and I were saying.
So where did so where did it all change? Like, how did your like now when I meet up with you, you seem to be in like top level health. So like, what did you do to change? And I want to invite some more people up here to basically share their secret supplement, secret
Yeah, man.
sauce. But I know we talked about
Yep.
CBD. So I want to know like I'm thinking about buying another bottle. So I want to talk about
Yeah.
that. But what happened? Like, what changed for you?
Well, the biggest thing is all, of all those things I just shared. It's a great question. All the things I shared, I came home and I had the option to go medications, antibiotics, all this stuff for my issues, steroid creams, you name it. And I was like, I don't just, it doesn't sound right. And this was before I was awake to what those actually were, like in 2016, 2015. And I woke up to water. As crazy as it sounds, I woke up to water, and the water I was drinking, all I did was switch that, and just about all those issues had disappeared within a few weeks and months. And that was my first awakening to health. Like, okay, this is different. Brita water ain't the shit. Gatorade and Propel, what the hell are these drinks? Like, what's in these Dasani bottles? What's in Smart Water? Why is carbonation so bad? And so that was my first awakening. And I switched my water. I started drinking something called Kangen water, and that started flushing me out. And I truly believe all that detoxing that the water did, because we're water at the molecular level. I mean, that's I could share that for 10 hours about water here. I'm going to keep it simple. Um, our bodies are made of water, inside and out. Our cells, everything, our tissues, organs, kidneys, liver, even our energy body is water based. We live in a water planet, and water is used in so many ways. So all I did was switch my water, and then things started to change. My mental health started to change. My energy started to change. Sleep, recovery, immune system. My nervous system finally felt like it was relaxed, kind of like the feeling you get when you're floating in a salt pool, so to speak, like you're kind of weightless. I just felt really relaxed and calm for the first time in my life just by drinking this water. Didn't do anything else yet. And then about a year and a half later, I had my spiritual awakening. And then, like what Zach was saying, when I had that spiritual awakening, I truly believe is because my soul was able to come back in my body because my body gave it a container. It's like putting a fish in a fishbowl with no water. Fish won't survive. That fish is your soul. So I put the fish or the fishes in the tank. And because I filled my tank up with the right kind of water for many reasons, I had that spiritual awakening. And then that led me to everything: CBD, plant based, detox, alkaline, Dr. Sebi, plant medicine, grounding. I mean, stuff that was like, what the heck is this dude even talking about? And that took me down the health wormhole. And about a year later, which was Zach was mentioning, I came across a buddy and we decided to partner up and we created a CBD company. And we still have it today. We share it with people all over the world. We have affiliates for it. It's amazing. It's called Govana. And the reason why it's so cool is because I didn't know much about CBD. I knew THC. You catch me with a joint.
Can we talk about Dr. CB
Yeah.
real quick?
Yeah.
Didn't he prove in court that he could cure certain diseases, and like he actually won?
He did. Yeah, he was in.
So tell me about that real quick, because he ended up, what got me down this whole rabbit hole was when I found all these natural health doctors that would do all these amazing things would end up suicided. Suicided meaning you would get a report that they had 2 bullets back in the head, and the death was written as suicide,
Yep.
right? So obviously foul play, but what happened? What's Dr. CB about?
Man, well, that man, he had his own health issues, and he has a place down in, I believe it's Ecuador, or Nicaragua, one of the Central Americas, where he would heal people. And he did it first with himself by fasting, water, and herbs. That was his thing. So he had obesity, he had all sorts of health issues. And after, just like a good healer would, right? It's not like he just read a book and copied and pasted. He experienced it. And like Zach said, so many people, doctors, they maybe have never gone through bad health and they're telling us how to be healthy. So how do they really know that other side of it? So that was the first thing that stood out because he went through it. And then as he started healing himself, obviously, like anything, when something works for Zach or for Lainey or Jace or any of you guys on this call here listening, you're going to tell people about it. You want to share people. And he started healing people. He started getting people on CMOS, like Left Eye Lisa Lopez, who did like a 40-day fast. She had like that famous segment on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. She was I eat CMOS every day. So that's one of my go-tos.
I actually did try that. I actually did get the whole. You have to do like you make a CMOS smoothie. You make a CMOS in the gel, right?
Yeah.
You have to put the CMOS into a container, let it soak overnight,
Yes.
and then you put it into the blender.
Yep.
And it has like every single essential mineral that you need. It's really good for people that are plant-based, right?
Yeah, anybody, plant-based, meat, carnivore, doesn't matter because it's got iodine, omegas, it's got collagen as well, all the minerals. There's the benefits are endless, and it's not the most glamorous thing. That to me is one of my favorite superfoods for sure that I still take to this day. So that was like a seed that he planted back then. And then he had this alkaline diet, right? The Sebi diet, which is his whole premise. And this is really what's cool, Zach, and other people listening. This is what got me into the doorway of voltage and electricity in the body, right? Our food, electrical, magnetic, I forget the whole quote he would say, but basically minerals are conductors, we're electrical bodies. eating foods that are full of electrons, full of alkaline enzymes. These different aspects gave the body a chance to regenerate itself and heal. And so what he did, he started healing people. He started, traveling and doing workshops. And then, like Zach said, here comes the government, because he was claiming, which he did, this was proven. And as you guys know, Big Pharma don't like this, that he was curing people of AIDS and curing people of cancer and curing people of HIV and just the stuff that is deemed uncurable through fasting, through herbs, through alkaline diets, spring water at the time, sea moss, all these different things that are very simple, just not commonly talked about. And then he was tried in court for malpractice or whatever, not healing without a license. So they put him in jail, and then, quote unquote, that's where he died, which we all know the guy could have lived another 30 years. He was rock solid. And you can guess what they probably did in prison. So very sad. And I didn't learn about him literally until I had about a spiritual awakening. And then a month later, he came into my awareness. Then I went down the wormhole of all his stuff, electrical foods, fruit, veggies, enzymes, herbs, and minerals. So, yeah, like Zach said, the best healers, him, Arnold Ehret, a lot of these people that have been suppressed, silenced, or, as you guys know, just removed from this planet entirely, were the true healers that we are now bringing their medicine back and their information so we can help people. And that's what I'm very passionate about, and using those concepts too. Yeah, so those are all good points.
So let's go into the benefits of CBDC because I'm personally curious about that. So why would somebody want to take CBDC, a supplement like this?
CBD, not CBDC.
Oh, CBD. Oh, shit. You can
Zach's
tell I'm a crypto
Zach's
channel,
the
bro.
crypto guy, right?
I can't even say
But isn't that fucking
CBD
wild,
without
though?
saying
I
CBDC.
know.
I was having trouble earlier too, if you haven't noticed.
It's okay, dude. It's fucking hilarious. But that's who you are. That's your space. It's a classic mix up of all the mix ups. Yeah, because CBD, that's actually kind of trippy.
I'm
CBD.
literally busting up laughing my
Yeah.
ass off right now.
It's like
Because you heard me
CBDC.
struggling earlier today too.
Bro, I know, that's hilarious. Imagine that. Yeah, what's that cannabinoid? CBDC cannabinoid? No, I don't fucking know. I don't know what that is. It's classic mix up, and it makes sense. That's how like things are so interwoven in God's design. So CBD, cannabidiol. Yeah, so I started a company with a buddy of mine, Goldvana, and you guys can try it if you want. Nano water soluble CBD. CBD, in a nutshell, is a cannabinoid from the hemp plant. It's non-psychoactive. It's not going to give you this, the high as THC does. There's tons of other cannabinoids: CBD, CBG, CBN, THC. There's Delta 8, Delta 9. The cannabis and the hemp plant is like it's incredible. It's made by God. It's been here for us this whole time. And what's really crazy about this, it's not the CBD itself that people are not aware of, because most people are aware of what it is. They may not use it, or their pets use it. Basically, you have something called an endocannabinoid system. So an endocannabinoid system, in a nutshell, it's the system in the body, just like the lymphatic system, that was not educated by the mainstream medical media. The AMA, American Medical Association, the Flexner Report, 1910, right? The Rockefeller, the Carnegie stuff. Basically, the endocannabinoid system was discovered in the 1990s. They realized that humans actually needed cannabinoids for homeostasis in the body. So we create our own endocannabinoids, right? There's different types like phytocannabinoids, all sorts of things. The endocannabinoid system, put it this way, it's an umbrella. And it's an umbrella that helps regulate every other system in your body, which is crazy. I mean, your digestive system, your reproductive system, your lymphatic system, your endocannabinoid, or excuse me, your muscular system, your endocrine system, your nervous system. It's wild. So we have a system designed, and the way I explain it is, imagine that system is literally a bunch of locks. And you guys know, to get in your house, you've got to unlock the key. So the endocannabinoid system, these endocannabinoids are shaped to bind with these receptors, and the receptors is the CBD. So the cannabinoid system right? They call CB1 and CB2. They are key or locks, and our CBD we take or that we make produce naturally are the keys to unlock these systems. And once these locks are unlocked, we can now find balance. And that's what's so important, because what I notice is a lot of people struggle with stress, anxiety, digestive issues, sleeping, insomnia, low energy, muscle fatigue, soreness, attention span. And there's many ways to help that. We have just forgotten one of the most important systems, right? The most important systems, which is the endocannabinoid system. And that is throughout our whole entire body, every part of our organs. And what's really important for people to know that are listening is CBD is not all the same, because if you are consuming an oil-based CBD product, you've actually got to break that oil down before you absorb it.
Before we get all into the technicals, like how would I? What are the benefits that I'm going to feel? Like, let's say,
Yeah.
is it going to help me focus? Is it going to help me? I
Yeah.
want to start like a little like shilling spree right now. Everyone's going to show me their favorite health products. So I
That's
need to buy
awesome.
some. I need to load up, but
I love it. Yeah, yeah.
show me how I'm gonna feel after taking some bomb ass CBD. I'm gonna do it again. CBD.
CBDCs. Um, so what I noticed personally, I've got a little list I can read off for you too. It's a great question. What I feel personally is the mental chatter, right? The monkey mind will stop very quickly for me. That's if you're taking the right kind of CBD. Because if you're taking oil, that may not happen because you don't absorb it as much. You absorb like 15% of it. Water soluble CBD, nano CBD, that's going to actually give you actually feeling the results in minutes. So common things that people have told me that I've seen that has helped. One is obviously quieting of the monkey mind, feeling as if you just grounded outside or went into a meditation. Other things that are affected overall from research and experience that people have said is their mood improves, their cognition, their focus goes up, and that's CBG that helps with that. Lion's mane as well, all these other different mushrooms, which are very powerful. And then sleep improves, and a cannabinoid CBN helps sleep. Stress levels, anxiety goes down, energy goes up naturally when we're balanced and in homeostasis and we're not missing our keys to our locks. Pain is a big one. So, pain is a very big one. A lot of people have take high doses of CBD for pain management. And I know some of you, including Zach, have heard of Rick Simpson oil, Phoenix Tears, and that's the full spectrum of cannabinoids. Inflammation, obviously appetite. So people struggling that are on medications that don't have an appetite, CBD can definitely help. Memory improves with people. That's what I've noticed too over the years. Immune system and just overall neurological functioning. I mean, it's crazy to think it's like, Chris, you just labeled like everything about health. That's exactly it. That's how potent these cannabinoids are, let alone a full spectrum, and making sure that they're delivered effectively through water, not oil. Because when it's ingested, it's actually got to break down in the liver and the gut first before it gets into your bloodstream. And we know that our
That's what you
body
were telling me. I was so
water.
upset because I was found out that I was spending so much money on CBD, and then like you don't even absorb most of it. So
Yep.
Chris has his own brand. You guys could look into it.
Yep.
I'm all about superfoods because I really believe like if we want to achieve our goals that we set out for 2023,
Yep.
everybody in this space has big goals. We got to like I look at my body as a vehicle. It's like a engine, and we need to make sure we do tune-ups, oil changes, and fill it up with the best nutrition, which is, in my opinion, gas. So in today's culture in 2023, there's all these things called superfoods where you get so much nutrients packed into like a little dropper. So how do you do your CBD? Do you do it in the mornings? Like what's the routine?
Yeah,
And I
I
want to
do.
ask you, I have a buddy who's like a master of She Legit, and we're going to talk
Mm-hmm.
about She Legit. Are you a fan of that?
Take that every day. Absolutely. That's kind of my go-to
So
regimen.
what are the staple? What are your staple like go to
Yeah.
supplements?
Yes, great question. So, in a nutshell, wake up first thing, Kangen water. Okay, get the water going. Second thing I'll drink is Shilajit in my Kangen water, and someone can do it as in either a tincture or you can do it as a. It's kind of like a tar where you heat up with hot water. That's the second go-to. The third go-to is my sea moss. So I'll take a couple big scoops of sea moss to get that going. Um, The fourth thing I would say that I would take consistently is the CBD is with the CBG, which is for focus. So I take focus in the morning, balance in the afternoon, and then dream at night because we have different adaptogen blends. And that takes me to number five, which is medicinal mushrooms. So medicinal mushrooms, lion's mane, cordyceps, shiitake, reishi. Those are really, really good as well. So that's a part of my staple. And then I would say after that, I mean, I know people love, different organ meats. I don't do those personally for other reasons. I know that it can be beneficial in many ways. For me, I just choose to ingest these things that have less leftover residue compared to other things like sea moss. There's not much residue left over compared to certain meats or dairies, which again, I respect people doing if it works for you.
I guess that's where we are a perfect team because you're like an expert with all the plant-based stuff, and I'm the one eating liver and organs and all the crazy stuff, bone broth.
Yeah, I respect it all. I've never, like I said, I can't come from experience. None of that appeals to me. But I see how it's beneficial. So if it's working for you guys, keep at it. And if it's not, just open your mind up to other things. So those are probably my core five. And then if there's one more, I'm big on like chlorella and spirulina. Those are great, very powerful. And
do you ever do the it's like a little green drops you put into your water and it helps like your blood?
Yeah, like
That's pretty cool. Chlorophyll, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good supplement. It's really cheap too.
Very good. Very good. Well, our blood is like 90% matches the blood of a plant, hemoglobin wise. Our just the core of a plant, I believe, is magnesium, and then ours is iron. But aside from that, we're pretty much identical. So
I want to do a sidestep real quick just to introduce the new people up here and talk about how grateful I am that Elon Musk took over Twitter and we finally have somewhat of a free speech safety zone, because we used to have these conversations all the time on, YouTube called The Roundtable. Jace used to be on this show. This is how a lot of us met.
Yep.
And then we used to also do stuff on IG, and a lot of us had our Instagram accounts banned back in 2020. So it feels like we finally have a safety zone to talk about these alternative things. So this is a great time for me tonight. And let's go into Shilajit. So LJ, you want to talk a little bit about your experience with it, why it's good? I don't have any Shilajit right now, but every time I'm on it, I feel super powerful, super good.
Yeah. That's the feeling.
Combining CBD and Shilajit, I think, would be a super combo.
Oh, yeah.
No CBDCs. Just CBD.
Yeah, that should be a campaign.
Yeah.
We don't want your CBDCs. We want hemp trees and CBD. We don't want your CBD. We don't want your CBDCs. We want hemp trees and CBD. That'll be the new one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just to piggyback off, the CBD going well with oils and everything. What a lot of people don't know about Shilajit. I mean, Shilajit is called the destroyer of weakness, conqueror of mountains. So it is what I call mountain medicine. And how it is derived is when the Himalayan mountains, for example, where I source mine from, were formed, they crashed into one another and they trapped all of the plants inside. So the Shilajit's basically the resin or the goo. It's fossilized almost like plant matter. So it has all the plant constituents in it. And what people don't know about Shilajit is that it is a carrier. So it can carry like a large amount of whatever you're mixing it with into your bloodstream. So it would pair amazing with CBD. I always tell people too that if you're struggling with a certain disorder, it's always really great to create some sort of concoction for yourself that's very specific to what you're dealing with and mixing it with the Shilajit, because it's going to deliver it into your bloodstream. And I actually had healed HPV with that whole regimen. I was mixing it with all sorts of different herbs in my morning smoothies. I was told that I would have this for the rest of my life if I didn't, and it would turn into cervical cancer if it had prolonged for more than 7 years. And I kept going back and I kept getting the results back, and I kept getting discouraged each year until I got on that 7th year and I was like, I can't take this anymore. So the Shilajit really was a gateway into other herbs for myself, and going through like just a whole journey of self-discovery and unlocking the secret to the modern medical industry and what a lie it is, and what we are actually truly capable of healing ourselves using like simple methods, even just with your own power of your mind. But the Shilajit really, like you said, Zen, it just gives you this like unmatched strength. And I think that really fortified my mental health. I still to this day mix it with lion's mane every morning, just because it does really do so much.
You know, that's one of my
Mhm.
favorite. That's one of my favorite ones to talk about, lion's mane.
Yeah, it's amazing mood booster, great for mental clarity. And so I just throw that in my morning smoothies. I used to do a lot of different supplements as well, but I've been actually on this protein powder, and it has like every vitamin and mineral you'd ever want in your protein powders. So I've been mixing that with my Shilajit in the mornings and my lion's mane, and just trying to keep it as simple as possible. But yeah, Shilajit's it comes in resin form, like Chris said. You can also get in highly concentrated drop form. I would stay away from any powders because they're processing out all the good shit. It's high in fulvic and humic acids, as well as trace minerals and nutrients, about over 80 trace minerals and nutrients in there, everything that your body needs. And so what that humic and fulvic acid especially are doing is it's oxygenating the blood, it's purifying the blood, and it's detoxifying the blood. So I've noticed that I don't really get sick because I've been taking it consistently. And I also have a theory, and I wouldn't know because I'm not, jabbed, but I think it would probably really benefit people to detox from that, depending on how far along they've come with how many ones they've taken. But I really think that that's something that could possibly heal people. So it's a really powerful, strong medicine. It's great for endurance of like all sorts, physical, mental, spiritual. Great as a pre-workout, great as a replacement for coffee even. Coffee is always putting the body in a fight or flight response. So, over time, it's really stressing out your adrenal glands. It's doing a lot on your system. Coffee is technically, the caffeine in coffee is technically a drug, and we've normalized the addiction to it because it's easily available and legal and all that. So it's really important that we really check ourselves, check our nervous system, and Shilajit is just that great entry point to gaining that mental strength and clarity, physical strength and clarity, all of that good stuff. So yeah, I don't know what.
You hit me where it hurts. I have a big
Yeah.
I was
coffee
gonna say
addiction.
there's coffee
Sorry,
drinkers
I
here.
know I
No,
kill people's vibes all the time.
I
no,
bought an espresso machine this year. I've been loading up.
Hey,
yeah, Zach's got that. LJ, I agree with
yeah,
you. I did stop caffeine months ago, and actually almost a year now. That I may have it traces in cacao and whatnot. It's been such a huge shift for me in so many ways. And I always say, like, it's not what we add, it's what we can reduce too. That can be very beneficial. So I'm glad you hit on that.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, thank you for talking about that. I've been needing to hear that. So,
No.
actually, my buddy said he had some synchronicity with. He wanted to talk about Shilajit too.
Awesome. Yeah,
hmm
everything in moderation, it's not to say you can't
Yeah,
enjoy it. Coffee smells great to me. I've never really been
yeah,
a coffee drinker, but I get it. I get the appeal. So
yeah.
Jace, do you have something you want to add on?
Yeah, that was awesome. Well said, LJ. You took the words right out of my mouth. And thanks for having me here, guys. Too good to see you guys. Um, for men, I was going to say, especially as a testosterone builder, a natural way to raise testosterone, Shilajit is a great way for men to gain testosterone in a completely natural way. And especially if you aren't practicing semen retention, or like say you spill your seed and you're feeling super weak, take some Shilajit like right after, and you're gonna feel like that energy come back to your body. You'll feel way better. So definitely recommend it if you're a guy and you want to raise your testosterone levels.
absolutely. And just to add on to
Yes.
that, as a woman, I do have to pull back from it every once in a while. I've been actually on it for 5 months straight now, which I'm surprised. Usually they say to take a break every 4 months. I'm just feeling great in my body, so I'm going to continue to do it and follow that. But I do notice sometimes it it really balances out the hormones for everyone. So it's not something bad to be taking as a woman. But I do notice sometimes I'll get like kind of aggro, and I'll kind of get I'll understand a little bit more in the mind of man.
You're breaking mountains, LJ. It's the
Exactly.
breaker of change.
Yep.
What do you expect?
Destroyer of weakness and conqueror of
Destroyer
mountains.
of weakness.
Yeah.
Well, think about how hard it would
That'll
be
grow
to
a beard
get
on
you.
anybody.
Well, think about how hard it was to get your hands on Shilajit like a couple hundred years ago. Now we could just
Yep.
go and order it online and it
Yeah.
gets delivered to our house. Like, so
Yeah, they
crazy.
actually mine it
Yeah.
off
And
of rocks, and they melt it off of the rocks and purify it using the
yep.
sun. And they still do like the ancient way of doing it. It's actually Ayurvedic medicine, so it's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, medicine practice, 5,000 years old. So this was actually
Wow.
originated in India from the Himalayan mountains, and they were giving it to boys in when they hit puberty, and that's why you're still seeing like old Indian men being able to do all these crazy yoga poses. It's fascinating. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's
So, what other things should
incredible.
I know about? Like, what other health supplements should I take?
Chris mentioned cacao, which is the other thing I was
Yep.
going to say, especially as a coffee alternative. If you guys are drinking coffee every day, which I do too, what I'll do is I'll cycle between the two. So if I'm drinking coffee, I'm doing that. But if I want to take a break from coffee, then I'll start drinking cacao, and you can basically just replace it with your morning cup. And what I recommend is getting ceremonial grade cacao, because that's going to be like the best for your body. So go to whatever your local health food store is, or even online, just make sure that it's ceremonial grade. And cacao is one of those superfoods that like just gives you so much nutrition. It does have trace amounts of caffeine, so you're still getting a little bit of that, which will help from, getting off the coffee kick. But it's also got all these mood booster chemicals and things in it. I think L-theanine. It just makes you feel really good, kind of like matcha, where it just gives you that mood boost on top.
I was gonna ask, is according to you guys are my health experts right now. Can I replace coffee with matcha? Is that acceptable?
I would say it's a great alternative if you don't want as much caffeine. It's still pretty high in caffeine, but it's got all the polyphenols and amazing antioxidants in it that you can get from green tea. So I do matcha every once in a while, but like Jay said, I'm a huge cacao fan as well. I actually do add that to my protein shakes and smoothies.
So cow will have you feeling pretty good, Jace.
Yeah, I'll mix my cacao with Shilajit. So what I do is I'll get some cacao. If you can get the paste too, that's even better than the powdered stuff. It's like the more raw form. And I'll get some boiling water, get the paste, mix it in there. I'll throw in some Shilajit resin or some drops, and then I'll throw some cinnamon in there too, because that's really good for your gut and for your liver. And then if you have any other kind of yummy things that you want to add in there, maybe like a little bit of vanilla or something like that to give it a flavor boost. And then Manuka honey, that's my go-to sweetener. So Manuka honey is like really, really good for you. If you guys haven't heard of that, it's a type of honey that is specifically farmed in New Zealand where they have the Manuka flower, and it has all these amazing health benefits. So like one of the things is if you're doing like an anti-candida diet, which I'm practicing right now, I'm trying to get a kick in overgrowth basically, which a lot of people have. If you've never done a candida cleanse, it's really good to do that. It'll make you feel so much better, make your sense of smell come back, like life will just be so much better. And so the Manuka honey is like good for that because it's super antimicrobial, antifungal, and it will be so much better than like even like maple syrup or standard honey. So that's my go-to recipe for like morning coffee alternative.
I've also gone through the candida thing. I tend to have that issue as well. So it's funny you brought that up. What really helped with the candida for me was combo, and I don't know how many people know of this medicine.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's powerful. I mean, there's just something about, again, it's more of that masculine warrior medicine, but it's frog secretion from the Amazon that is administered through burns in your skin, and it goes through and actually will flush your entire lymphatic system, reset your nervous system. you purge for anywhere from like 20 to 45 minutes. It's not psychedelic typically. It can be for some people, but it's really giving you what you need in terms of just purging your system of anything that doesn't serve you, whether it's physically, energetically. For me, it was candida that came out in my purge in form of, like, you can see little bubbles. But yeah, it's called nature's vaccine, and this is what the Amazonian tribes would take before going out into hunting mode for days. It would keep them more alert, keep them clear minded. For me, it felt like I could just see like 180 degrees around like my immediate environment. So that's another really good one. But definitely a medicine that you need to be administered through somebody trained with it, a shamanic practitioner, and treated with reverence, of course.
Let me ask you guys this. So do you guys do anything like besides taking a supplement? Do you guys do like infrared saunas, float tanks, ice baths, anything like that?
Absolutely. And that was kind of a next topic I wanted to even bring up on, because not everyone has maybe the funds or access to these supplements. Like LJ said, like organic, clean sourced. There's variables.
Yeah, we
like
got to
you
give
said,
people options. Some
yeah,
people want to get better and they have nothing, so we can give people some free options too.
exactly. And that's the beautiful thing, is there is so much that we can literally do, that involves healing, that can be for free. Like so much, like whether it's grounding, whether it's ice baths, getting in the ice, whether it is even getting in the sun. So what you're saying, Zach, yes, 100%. We have an infrared sauna at the house. We're actually very blessed to be able to set one up here at the home. That's always great. Saunas or any type of sweating, ice baths. I know you guys probably have seen that left and right. They're like it's like a viral thing that people are doing. It's funny because growing up being in basketball, that's all we did was ice baths. I just didn't know the benefit of the health side. I was just doing it to prevent soreness. Earthing, that's another big one. You guys know earthing and grounding, that's proven. Anybody that can go outside and put their feet on Mother Earth. And the reason why that's so great, I'll just in 30 seconds why. Mother Earth's crust is negatively charged at about a negative 20 to negative 25 millivolts. It's a big grounding energy. And that's why Clint Ober, who discovered earthing, obviously it's been around for so long, yet he made it mainstream because he was able to ground in his bed by hooking up a cord to Mother Earth outside. And the craziest part about that is if our Earth, Mother Earth, that we love and cherish, at least as enough of us say that we do, in preventing bad things to happen as best we can, has a negative 20 millivolts on her crust. It's so crazy that you can look this up. Each one of our cells in our body, the trillions of cells, a healthy cell is actually charged at the same millivolts. And when I connected that and I saw that happen, and again, like Kangen water, negative millivolts, grounding, negative millivolts, breath work, negative millivolts, even exercise, you're creating negative ions, electrons in the body. Good things start to happen. So, of all the modalities, ice bath is great, exercise, breath, meditation. I pray and I hope all of you, if possible, I know it's cold or there's snow and ice, get outside, touch the earth as best you can with your bare feet. If you can't, get some grounding mats, because that's literally like our plug to our iPhone that we all freak out when our battery's low. Mother Earth is a freaking iPhone charger, and we can get plugged up anytime. So I would say my favorite thing I do, not supplement wise, not Kangen or anything else food wise that you got to purchase or whatever it is to just get connected back with Mother Earth. She's got so much healing, and she is a big old battery that wants to give you electrons.
You know the best example of
Light
this
them up.
for me, the best example, like someone that doesn't believe that, is the feeling when you go, like if you haven't been to the beach in a long time, you jump into
Yep.
the water and you get out of the water and you feel like charged
Yep.
up, and the rest of your day you just feel so good and refreshed.
Yep.
That's like one of the best ways to ground to me. So that's like one of the feelings that you get from grounding. We have a few people that haven't spoke who are up here, so if you want to chime in, just go ahead.
I just wanted to say that, I'm sorry. Do you want me to go ahead? I just want to say that hydrogen peroxide and even food grade hydrogen peroxide, if you do food grade hydrogen peroxide, that's 35%. You have to obviously mix it, dilute it with distilled water down to 3%. But even rubbing hydrogen peroxide on your body is a cheap and easy way to add oxygen to your blood. It's been proven that cancer cannot exist in oxygen-rich blood and that it feeds off of sugar. And my father had cancer in his lung, and we developed an regimen for him where he was oxygenating his blood with Nutrio 2, which was a supplement, which I prefer hydrogen peroxide, but he took Nutrio 2 and he did the mushrooms, he did the chaga and the lion's mane and the reiki and all of those, and then you know got rid of the sugar and started eating all organic, and he went back to the oncologist and his cancer had disappeared. So
No way. Wow.
yeah, but another thing is that parasites are in everybody. If you are alive, you have parasites, and it's really important that you do get those out. I'm a big supporter, Zach. I know you know Dr. Dean, Dr. Jason Dean. I mean, he has his own regimen for
I actually heard
parasites.
he had one of the best for that
Yes, he does. He
specifically.
does have one of the best, and they work, and you will be amazed. I mean, there are other ways, and you can even look up, just recipes online to make your own anti-parasitic medicine. But you will be amazed at what comes out of you. It's disgusting, but if you're breathing, you have parasites because and anybody that got injections as babies or whatever, um, they're in all of them. The parasites are in the injection, so it, they can live up to 30 years in your body and lay up to 30,000 eggs a day. So you need to get those things out as best you can, and I guess that's all I wanted to say, really.
Well, thanks for sharing. One of the reasons that got me inspired to go down this whole journey of health was going through the pain of my grandma going through chemotherapy, the traditional route, and not being a solution. When I heard so many stories just like you, if you switch to a natural ways, like you could actually heal these things that these doctors tell you or it's impossible. But I
Absolutely.
really want to just give a quick shout out. Are you guys enjoying this type of vibe that you guys like? Do you want us to keep doing these type of shows? Me and Chris are really passionate about kickstarting this new roundtable community discussion type of vibe on Twitter now that we have like a free speech safety zone. So we'll be promoting more of these events. And if you guys like it, make sure to help spread the word, bring more people. If you know any experts in any field, send them our way. We would love to host them and have more talks like this. This type of information needs to be spread on Twitter. I mean, I love crypto, but who cares about getting rich in crypto if I get rich and then I don't even have the health to enjoy it? So that's always been my number one value is health is wealth. But anyone else have anything they want to chime in or add to what I just said?
I wanted to build on what Amy was saying. I don't know if you guys mentioned this in the beginning before I joined, but fasting for parasites and candida and any sort of pathogens in the body and just overall gut health. Fasting is like one of the biggest life hacks. And you don't need to do some kind of like crazy multiple day fast, but just intermittent fasting, which means going 16 hours, 16 to 18 without eating can have major positive effects on your gut health and slowly killing off parasites. I've been kind of cleansing myself the past year of parasites, really diving into it. And one of the big mistakes I made was diving too quickly into it too fast. So eating too many anti-parasite herbs and things at once. And so I think a good way to like start doing it is to start intermittent fasting and slowly build in, slowly start adding things like raw garlic and onions and things like that to your diet. And then you can go, a little deeper into things like oregano oil, black walnut hull, things like that that are a little more intense. But like fasting, man, it's so underrated.
You brought up a good point too, that I think a lot of us are on this journey to figure out what works for ourselves. And out of all of the things I've like experimented on myself with, you know, most of them have gone pretty well, and I can speak clearly on them as something positive. But there are times where I've gone too hard too fast as well, and I'm not going to discredit that that's a thing that exists, and that we do need to be more mindful of being easy on ourselves and like listening to our bodies. Because I did a liver cleanse and I took too many supplements at one time, similar to you, Jason. I noticed that like my tattoos were like raised off my body, and like I was breaking out all over my skin, and it was trying to detox too quickly. So that's something to think
I've
about.
done that many
Oh,
times.
so weird.
Overdose on health
Yeah.
supplements.
I've noticed the same thing with the tattoos in particular too. Like it'll get all raised and kind of irritated.
I think someone has their hand up.
That's me. Hi, guys. Thank you for letting me come on and speak. It's really awesome to hear everybody in the same vibe. I just wanted to speak a little bit on the soil and glyphosate. I don't know if you have heard of glyphosate, which is in our food. They spray it on the crops, to dry them out early. So not only is our food poisoned, but also very much deficient in minerals and things that we need. And so our soil is depleted. And so then the food is harvested before it's ready to be harvested. So even if you're buying organic and, doing your best, you're really depleted of nutrients a lot of the time. So I know a lot of us are already doing, the superfoods and things like that. And so this is my shill, what I've been doing this over the past year, which has absolutely changed my life. And like in all the ways, like it's come full circle, even to my financial health now, but so I don't know if you guys know, or David Sandoval is the founder of the company that I've partnered with. And he was actually the guy that fought for, organic labeling in food. So he's very, very passionate about all of this. And he created a superfoods company where there's formulations, and I know that LJ touched on that, we should stay away from powders because they're very processed. And so that's the same thing, like everything, you're trying to find your best, most nutrient dense foods. Well, I believe that this is definitely like, there's just something beautiful here with these foods that I have found. But the main product that they have that I went through, and I've gone through several of them this year, and it's just been amazing, but it includes, pre-formulated, like basically superfoods, the power shake, but they are live dehydrated, wind dehydrated. They are watered with mineral water. They're grown in volcanic ash so that they have the most mineral, and they actually wait to harvest them until they're ready at peak harvest time. So they're the most nutrient dense foods that you can find right now when we have this like depleted soil. So but the glyphosate, it harms our gut because it messes with the microbiota in our stomach and in our gut. And so we can't absorb the nutrients. So that's another thing, is that, we're nutrient deficient because we're not absorbing, or we're unable to absorb it. So even if you think you've been healthy for years and years, and eating organic, like if you haven't repaired your gut, actually fixed your gut health, your brain health is very much attached to it, then, you're still living depleted. And then again, with the parasites, and all of that stuff, it all comes together. So with our transformation, it comes with like 4 things. It's the power shake, but it comes with the super cleanse, which you guys were talking about, cleansing the parasites. And they're all like naturally derived from plant-based foods that are regeneratively farmed. So it's really amazing. Like I just am so in love with the company. Their mission is to end human suffering. What's in their super cleanse is like a 10-day cleanse, and they come with 2 packs of that. After you're done with your 30-day cleanse, you get another one to kill the eggs. It's really cool. I haven't gotten to do that yet because I'm breastfeeding still. So, but I've gotten big benefits in cleansing from the Biomedic, which is what Dave formulated to actually fix like it removes up to 74% of the glyphosate that's in your system by the 6-week marker. And it also removes the C-reactive proteins, which cause inflammation in your body. So, I mean, it's just, the benefits of it all have been endless for me and for my family and for my clients. And so it's just really beautiful. And then if you are somebody who is looking for a means of supporting yourself while being a healer and sharing, health and wellness and wealth, like we all are into crypto, then it kind of just all goes hand in hand, and they have a beautiful compensation plan as well. So I just wanted to share that. They also have they have spirulina, cocoa mint spirulina, and they have chlorella. There's just so many products that they have. But the main thing that I wanted to touch on was the biomedic, which helps to heal your gut, because I think that's just something that's really special that we all need to do.
I heard your gut's like your second brain, and once you clean it out, it's like does miracles. Thanks. I felt your passion and what you were talking about. So thank you for coming on, and hope to see you at the next call.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
My phone's almost dead, so we have to wrap it up, even though I'd love to keep going, but we still have a few more minutes. What's going on with the egg situation? Do you guys know? Like, what's the conspiracy?
So I heard that they intentionally poisoned the feed of the chickens, and that it's all related to Purina, who's one of these big conglomerates, but I also read an article today that I'm not sure, but it was a medical journal that said that eggs actually kill SARS-CoV-2 virus.
Yeah, I posted that. That was a
Yeah,
big one.
doesn't
I was
that
like,
make
there
sense?
you go.
So
Yeah, that totally makes sense. So they're trying to, make the amount of eggs lower so that they can, yeah, obviously not people, trying to fight whatever that is. But I also want to add what Sarbar was saying, that glyphosate actually affects your joints, and so glyphosate poisoning can be responsible for all kinds of inflammation in your joints too. So
I wanted to add on the whole egg situation. So there was this farmer who started going down a rabbit hole and trying to figure out the whole companies behind a lot of the commercial feed. Ended up finding out that most of it is owned by Purina, and that at the beginning of last year, at some point, Purina went into a partnership through a conglomerate third-party company that was owned by Land O'Lakes and Eggland's Best, where basically they've been buying up a whole bunch of new egg facilities that were supposed to open up all coordinatedly along the same periods of time where chickens stop laying their eggs. And so, I mean, there's also that other eggplant just burning down recently. So they're all connected. They're doing it on purpose.
I believe it, man, especially when I find out that it has positive health benefits for some of the issues going on right now. But let me wrap this up, give an opportunity for a host to basically show themselves real quick. So if you guys are new to my page, if you found me through Chris, I talk about cryptocurrency stuff, DeFi, basically becoming sovereign with your assets, going digital, becoming your own bank, basically becoming a quantum banker. So if you guys like my vibe, give me a follow. We really want to support Chris in growing his Twitter page. He's new here on Twitter. He has a huge following on other platforms. I think he's close to 100K on Instagram. So make sure to give him some love. I'll let him shout himself out real quick. He has a website. He does coaching calls. He also is a huge team leader within Kangen. He has his own CBD company. And so make sure to follow him so you guys can stay up to date with the next call. And hopefully you guys enjoy this vibe. Do anyone else have anything last to say to the group?
This was great, Zach. I'm really grateful to be here with all you people. Like I said, the people on this call and the ones in the future are y'all. We're the future of this fucking world and of millions other out there. And if that's scary to hear, welcome it, because that's what you signed up for. And so I know this is going to be the start of many. I know Twitter's evolved a lot, Telegram. My relationship with Zach's evolved. I'm meeting some familiar faces on here, so it's an honor to share this little quote unquote space. And talk with you guys. And yeah, you can find me at Come Out Better on Instagram. I'm on Twitter here, of course. I got my Telegram chat. And comeoutbetter.com is my website where you can see a little bit more about what we do, what I do. And then Kangen Water is a business of mine. I've helped thousands of people all over the world build that business. I've got other companies I own and run, affiliates, coaching, public speaking, and crypto, thanks to Zach. Zach's actually the guy that has led me to so many amazing opportunities and people. So I always thank him for that. And it's just crazy how we met years ago randomly from I don't even remember the meme or whatever it was. And I saw his page. I'm like, this is my guy. So here we are later, and it's an honor. And we're going to keep sharing with you guys all the nuggets that helped me, like LJ, Jace, all of those that have shared and spoke. You guys are all awesome. I resonate with everything everyone said. We're all on the same page. And to come out better in this year of 2023.
I want to add one. I want to add one.
Better.
I want to add one thing too, because we just had a long conversation for a while now. But one of the things I'm super passionate in right now is consulting. I've been working with tons of people behind the scenes, helping them launch their NFT projects.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people that are working on NFT projects to come to the XRP ledger on Sologenic. And I definitely encourage more people to get active with creating their NFT collections, bringing utility, your own unique utility, whether it's a service, whether it's just some cool art. Because when we all come together in these like-minded rooms like this, how great would it be to trade and exchange our NFTs rather than like the whole joke earlier, CBDCs. So I'm really passionate about NFTs. I have a new NFT, Esoteric Visions, right here with me. He's actually designing a new NFT collection. I've minted many collections, but the main purpose is just to inspire the group, to see, just like how food has evolved and there's all these superfoods and all this technology that we could get this amazing nutrients and all this food. Now we have all this upgraded technology to help us, create our own financial infrastructure, create our own DAOs, decentralized organizations. So that's something I'm really excited about. We could talk about that another day, though. I talk about that all the time. But I encourage everyone to get active in Web3, going decentralized, becoming sovereign, and building our own alternative financial system adjacent to the CBDC tyranny timeline that they want for us. So that's my final thoughts. Esoteric Visions, you want to hype up the NFT collection? You've been working for days. So that's going to be released in the next few days. There's always perks when you own a Zen Lounge NFT. So that's my other shill.
So, I'm really excited. I created a whole bunch of really great animations, and I'm really excited to share with the group. If you've been in these talks, we've talked with Amber Metaverse before, and how all the stuff that they're wanting they're doing over there. Hopefully, maybe further down the road, we can end up evolving this NFT series into something where everybody has their own augmented reality vault, or create these social spaces where we can have these in AR and such, but that could be connected to the NFTs and these digital worlds that I'm creating for the group. But
Yeah, so we want to
yeah,
create like a Zen Lounge world that actually helps you get connected to physical vacations, resorts. So it's like alternative to the metaverse rather than buying something to plug you into the metaverse. It's like something you buy that actually takes you out of the digital world into a resort or a cruise ship, something awesome. So it's a big project we're working on, but we're starting small with the Solo Assassin series. So have a look out for those NFTs. They'll be dropping in a few days. Have a look out for the next space. Anything else, guys? I gotta bounce.
Choose CBD over CBDCs. I'm out. See you
That's a
later.
t-shirt, baby. Peace.